Hello, welcome back, guys, and welcome to the stream if you're watching on Twitch. Today's episode, we're going to do some bot coding and seeing how we can start automating things. So what you're watching now is just a sped up version of what I did last episode. I did a few things off screen. See, I built some more storage units and stuff like that. So let's actually get cracking. Let's actually load into the game. Nope. Did not mean to do that at all. What am I doing? Go away. Load game. There we go. Ooh. So we have this bot we made last episode. I built out all these storages just because things was getting a bit out of hand. So I made 3 crafters, crude workbenches for different tools. You'll know why later on. 3 storages, logs, planks, and poles. And 2 chopper blocks, 1 for planks and 1 for poles. And I've also got seed storage here. So you got this basic robot. You have to charge it up when it's got the empty barrier on top of the head. It means they're out of power, so you have to like crank them up, and you can get robots to automatically recharge other robots. So this is our starting robot. You can rename him. So go on, first robot, first bot. Which is pretty cool. You've got these buttons down here. So if you press record, this is where you can start recording your movements, and it will start and it will play it out for you. Very basic stuff, right? You can press stop, that will stop the program, and press and play will play the program. Obviously, this little arrow here. Not many people know this. It's bot trade, so you can give your bot items or take items out, and also this item here is the upgrade slot. So when you start getting to the upgrades and start putting better brains into robots, that's where you put it into. You can also right click a bot with your tool and throw it to him, which is handy. You can get a bot to drop everything, and he will drop everything he can. You can also get the robots to follow you. You can also, these are kind of cool things down here. So you can have your camera follow the bot. So if he breaks at any point, you can just be like, why are you breaking? Let me have a look what you're breaking, and it will follow the bot. Oh, timing. Don't know why I got that. I'm not doing anything. It's interesting. This here allows you to copy code to clipboard, so you can copy this and paste it somewhere else, like in a forum or some sort. You've got some other buttons here. So if I go into record, you've got the redo. So if you accidentally delete a big chunk of code, you can redo it. You also have the delete, which clears the whole board, which you might want to do. Right clicking, by the way, gets rid of, deletes things in this as well. So let's talk about the basic stuff. So you have loops. Let's talk about loops. So you have the repeat. You've got plenty of things here. So if you want to get a loop, you just click on this button down here. Or you can drag it on. So this little drop down menu, you have plenty of things you can pick from here. So you have until hands full. So what you can do is have a robot repeat a certain thing until the hands full. So for example, if I wanted him to move to this crate and take from this storage, he will do this now until his hands are full. See? And if you press play again, he won't do it because his hands are full. So let me empty his hands. That's one thing of doing. You can do it to his hands are empty. So what I'll do actually, if I change this to hands full, I'll get him to take out everything, and then what I'll do is I'll move to storage, and then I'll tell him to add to the storage until his hands are empty this time. So he'll add to the crate. A lot of people put this move into the loop here. You don't need to. It slows it down a little bit because it adds like a tick to the time. This is a lot quicker. What else do we have here? So not full. So we can have him do stuff. So if this is storage, if the storage is full, this loop will. This will loop until the storage is full. So he will constantly add things to this crate until it's full, right? And you have the opposite, which is not full. So if I do something like this, and press play. Let's do this forever, shall we? Right? It's currently not full, right? So it's going to not do this loop. But if I change this to until full, he should move to that location because this is not full, right? And it will stay in this loop, so it will complete this loop and stay in it. What else do we have here? We have the forever loop. Obviously, that just does it forever until storage is empty. It's still another one as well. So if he basically, if I made him take out all these items and I wanted to do it until the storage is empty, then I can use this, which is handy, really handy stuff. Until held object full, which is mostly for buckets. So I believe, so you have a bucket, and obviously a bucket can be empty or full. So what you want to do is basically have him pick up sand and until the object is held as full, which would be the bucket, or the same with water. There might be other uses for this. I'm wondering if it's handy for wagons and wheelbarrows as well. So you can be like, until my wheelbarrow's full, do a certain action. Obviously the opposite of that was empty. And you have the times, which basically means if I want him to grab out, let's go with this, 2 items from a chest, and let's say add 2 items to the chest. If I do this and put 1 here, so if I make him play, he will take 2 items out and put 1 back. Right, and you can have this do 3, 2. Let me grab this. So he'll grab 3 out and put 2 back. Right, really cool stuff. Basic programming. So I'm going to enter this now. So there is one handy thing what you could do with this is on the repeats there is this little box here where you can tick. So what this means is that if any of the lines of code break, continue to the next loop. So for example, if I make him move and add until his hands are full, right, this won't work, right? So he will. Let's try and actually do it over here. Let's do this. It might be an easier example. So if I make him go to storage and take from the storage until his hands are full, right? And then I want him to, let's say, move over here. Yeah. What will happen is that he'll get stuck here because his hands are not full yet. So he'll carry on trying to take from the storage because there's nothing in the storage to take. If I come along and put a stone in it, he'll take from it. This is not ideal for some things. So what you want to do is you don't want him sitting around because he might have to travel somewhere or plant trees or do something with it, right? So what you want to do is not have him wait for his hands to be full. And obviously you don't want to do it be times either because you don't want him to always pick up 1 or 2. So you want him to do this. But if you put this little continue marker here, what will happen is that he'll try and take a stone from the storage, but when it's empty, he'll be like, oh, I can't do that, and then it will continue to the next thing. So he will try and get 2 out, it'll break, and then he's moved over. Right? Pretty cool. Let's try and get these stones back from him. Can I get 2 off him? I don't think so. So there's a few other cool things you can do. So what you can do is you can have robots pick up items. So, and you end up getting this find nearest X in area, right? So in this case, find nearest axe in area, right? And you can have it so he finds an axe in a certain area and picks it up. So this is basically, if I make it do this, he will come to this axe, find it, pick it up, and move to the location and then drop it again, right? Pretty cool. So what this basically does is this purple, it assigns the crude axe object to like a variable, right? And it'll move to this variable and pick up this variable, right? So you can't have, if I try and break it in a way where if I do this, right, and have this in a different area, this won't work because he'll find nearest axe in this, and then he'll do this and find nearest axe in this. But there's no axe in here, right? So if I, well, actually, it'll just sit there. It will just sit there, right? There's no axe in there, so it'll sit there. But if I have 2 axes, one in there and one in there, it will find this one, and it'll move to that axe in that location. So that's also handy. You can do a lot of cool everything you can do. A robot can do. So if you wanted to, even if you wanted to, you can have robots truck axes to each other or tools to each other. You can have robots cut trees. You can have robots do anything an item can do. So if I throw him an axe, he can do, if he left clicks on a tree, he'll be able to cut it down, right? So let's try and do that. Should we just do a simple we'll do a simple little script that basically says if this log storage is empty and he has an axe in his hand, chop down a tree. If his hand is empty, pick up an axe, right? That's what we want. So what I'm going to start with is a forever loop, because I want this done forever. And then what I want to do then is have a until hands empty function, and inside this we want a this function is not full, right? I want you to find the nearest axe. So there's also a nice feature here where I can select a structure instead of a max size. So instead of doing an area, I can click on a workbench and have him pick from this output of this workbench, right? So he will only pick, he will only find an axe here now. Obviously then I want him to go to a tree and find this tree and chop it down, right? So what this does is he'll have an axe in his hand, right? And he'll do this until his hand is empty. However, this blocks him from cutting down more trees only if this is empty, right? So when this is empty, when this is full, this will just loop, and this will just loop round and won't break out of it until it's empty, and it'll break, and he'll be able to do that. So let's deleted that. Let's do it again quickly. My bad. That's really annoying. You get used to doing that. Find nearest axe and chop down tree. Right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You can have him also select a certain area to drop in. So I want to play this. So what you'll find, if I press play now, he has empty hands, so he's going to try and find an axe, right? So I'm going to build him an axe here, and you'll find that he will just go, he'll find the nearest axe in that area, and he'll move to that axe and pick it up. Now his hands are full, he can then do this, and this station is empty, or it's not full, can cut down trees. Now the issue is I don't have a robot filling up this with logs, so he will keep doing this forever because this won't change per se in his coding. Alright, so I'm going to do this, unlog this in there, and when this is full, he will stop doing his job. But that's the basic logger, basic coding scripts that you can get for like your first woodcutter. There's a few things you can do to organize things. Obviously, bots will get a bit manic. There'll be so many of them. You can add these little teams. If you click on this little button on the side, it'll put up these little teams. You can add a new team. I'm going to call this forestry. forestry. Make it brown, and what I can do is actually call him Chopper. Right, and put this into this team and compress it down, which makes life easy, right? Nice and fun. So I'm going to carry on putting this in there. So that's the first bot. That's everything you really need to know. Next episode, I'll continue making this automated and get that sorted. But for now, that's everything you need to know about robots. There'll be probably a few commands. Oh, there's one more command you probably should know about. Well, it's handy to know about. If you press Z, you can shout. So this command is useful in some circumstances. So in these loops, let me drag another loop in here. You can have him until here. So I can have him only cut a tree down, right? When he hears cut tree, right? So if I have a robot that shouts another robot that shouts this, he can then go, oh, okay, I'll do that now, and he'll cut a tree. So it adds a bit of communication between robots, which is really nice and handy. I might try and implement this into some of the stuff I do, but we'll find out. But that's pretty much it. There's nothing else I can think of that allows that changes much. There's also this button here, which I should talk about, is this little like bullseye target thing. So this basically is like a selector. So because I want unlocks, if I change this to like seed storage, that's basically that really. I'm sure you probably worked out. So that's it. That's everything. I'll see you next episode.